Fellas, I have, and I'm sure you have heard, women say nothing like a well-groomed man. I have the solution to meet your hair grooming needs. Next Level 2 Barbershop with 2 locations in the upstate. 1559 Lawrence Road, Greenville, South Carolina, and 261 West Butler Road, Malden, South Carolina. With operating hours 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday. Ladies, I didn't forget about you either. On staff, beautician available at the Malden location, as well as a loctician to meet all your lock and braiding needs. Before you step out, step in to one of the 2 locations and take your grooming to the next level.
Real Fantasy Podcast.
You could say a little, or you could say a lot. Dreams are what you ask for, real is what you got. Take a few shots with a queen on her line, a rose in the middle, with love on her side. It's all a vibe tonight. It's all a vibe tonight. Make sure you tune in tonight.
Real Fantasy Podcast.
Yo, it's your girl Victoria Rosa, and I got my co-host
Chantel Wilkins.
Yes, and you tuning in to Real Fantasy Podcast on I Say Podcast Network. Hey, did y'all miss us? You think they missed us?
I miss me.
Just I love me some me. So I want to get into this because I feel like everybody's just going bonkers. They're going crazy.
Absolutely.
And I'm probably going to fuck this up, but toxicity at its best. Did I say it right? The toxicity at its best. People are going crazy. Like, if you got that dick to make me go crazy, I want it.
Oh, Lord.
I need it. Give it to me. Now, I'm just kidding. So I want to get into it. What happened? I know we was talking about the lady, the RN nurse. Mm-hmm. Tell me what happened with them.
So from what I was reading and what I have seen on the news, so basically she supposedly killed her children and then tried to commit suicide. So she was driving on the highway 99 miles per hour, and she struck 2 other cars. And one of the ladies were pregnant, so she killed a child was like 3 or 4, and then another unborn child. So she just killed 7 people just in that. So like, and it was between her and her significant other. You know, they were into it, and then it's just been like a lot of killings over baby daddies. So I'm just a little confused on like why do you think that killing your children and killing yourself is going to solve the issue? What's...
And that could be like, you can really have a mental breakdown a mental breakdown where you can't think straight. But I can't fathom killing my kids behind anybody. Right,
yeah. He's the young man that killed, he had his 3 kids in the back. Like, he was on Facebook Live, and he told his 6-year-old son, I'm about to kill you. And the kids are in the back crying. And, like, all he wanted was for his baby mama to call him or have a conversation. Like, they had been in a relationship for 13 years, and I guess she moved on, you know what I'm saying, and just didn't want to have anything else to do with him, and he just wanted to have a conversation. And so he killed his 3 kids in the backseat of the car and then killed himself. Like,
Are
it's
you
just
serious?
yes, it's just a lot of, like, killings, and these people are young, and, I mean, they're, like, 30, 25, and just taking the lives of their innocent children for...
So my question is, and do you know this, did he pick up the kids from the wife?
No,
ex-girlfriend?
He already had them. So he
custody?
I don't think, no, not custody. I think that she was just gone. But, like, it was like 4 o'clock in the morning, and he got the kids up out of the bed and put them in the car.
Whew,
and,
I can't do it.
You know what I'm saying? And just went live. I was like, this is crazy. And, like, you could tell, like, how he just kind of flipped. And he was, like, you know, calm. And then all of a sudden, he was like, all I wanted was a conversation. All he wanted was for her to talk to him. But she decided to not have a conversation with him. And
God.
For you to have my children in your possession, there's just no way. Like, if me and you not seeing eye to eye, the last thing you gonna be seeing with is my motherfucking kids. period.
Because
so
because
like,
well, I wouldn't have never thought that because I would think a father wouldn't do anything to their kids or a mother wouldn't do anything
right,
to
but
their
there's
kids.
signs like this doesn't just happen sporadically. There's signs that are there that we should be able to pick up on. I mean, because he already said that she was scared. Like, if you're scared, why are your kids there?
And you left him.
Right. Like,
Maybe she didn't again. Maybe she thought that he wasn't gonna do nothing to his kids.
well, that's when we need to wake up because there's too much going on
Right.
where these people are going crazy, and like even with the biological parents like taking their own children's lives, like it's a lot of things that's going on that does not make sense to me.
Yeah.
I mean, because like if you're in a relationship, like that's between you and that other person. Like the kids have nothing to do with it. Like, why are you even bringing them into the forefront of the situation?
Yeah.
And then ending their lives? Like, come on, man. They had their entire lives in front of them, and you ended it because of a disagreement with your significant other? Like, no, that's...
I have seen it if people handle things like that. If you don't give me what I want, I'm going to take what you love the most. I've seen situations, even with that dude that was on Facebook Live, or the husband. You remember the husband? I think he was a doctor, and he went to kill his wife, and then he killed the kids too. You know what I'm talking about? And he was on Facebook Live too. But it was another situation where the boy killed his baby mama. He was on live, and the cops ended up coming, and he was like, "Just get my child, take care of my child," and ended up killing himself too because of a relationship. That's
Yeah, I mean, I just don't understand, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like, why you feel the need to, take it to those extremes. I mean,
well,
we need to...
some people can't control their feelings, and like love is.
I mean, it's a dangerous thing.
It's
understand.
very dangerous. It's dangerous. Yeah, very dangerous. And then when you love somebody, you don't act off logic. You act off emotions, and emotions is like a river. It's just gonna flow each and every way in that heat of the moment, especially with women, and some with men. If they immature. But yeah, the most I think I would do, and I never done it, but I think I might shoot you in your kneecap or something. No, I ain't gonna kill you, like for a little.
I'm gonna shoot you in the kneecap, then I'm gonna take care of you, baby. Come on, let me make
so
you feel better.
sorry.
Don't do that shit again.
Don't play with me now, because I'm very I'm the type of person like communication is everything. I'd rather be told instead of hear it from me. I know it's gonna hurt, but if we communicate, like, look, I can't do this no more. I don't want to be here no more. I can understand that I'm gonna be hurt, but you telling me you love me and you want to be with me, you playing with me, my nigga.
Right, but
You're
I mean,
not gonna be playing with me like that. No, not at all.
But I mean, like, what would you do if you, wanted to cut ties and the other person just didn't understand? Like, I don't want you to go nowhere. I'm still going to be here. You know what I'm saying? And they just won't leave you alone about it.
So that would be the case where I would completely have to disappear. And especially I would have to disappear, like take my kids and hide them. If I can't disappear at the moment, I would have to eject my children out of that situation. And then I have to figure out a strategy to get away. But again, it's either me or you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, if it's to the point where I'm threatened, I feel threatened, I don't feel safe, I'm probably going to react because I probably end up killing them.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to give you a couple chances, but listen now, I done told you.
Nah.
I done told you to leave me alone. If you can't handle that, then...
Because I'm not the type, like, the physical, no, I can't, I won't allow you to physically. Now, I done been in situations where you and your man get into an argument and it's verbal, but physical, no. And then threatening and wanting to kill me, no. My life is too precious. I can't. But you can see, you like you said, you can see the signs in some people.
Absolutely. Yeah. You could, I mean, they there. They screaming out loud and clear. It's just you got to make sure you hold
see
up
it.
now.
Red flag.
Let me back up. Let's talk about this.
Let's
How
talk
you
about
feeling?
what are some of the red flags that'll give you the signs that a man is not here in the head? Have you ever been in a situation like before you got married?
I mean, being with somebody that's not right in the head, of course.
What was it like the main red flags or?
I mean, like, it kind of depends on the situation that they are in. So, like, with them, if they could be insecure, they could be completely overprotective and jealous. Like, jealousy is
yeah.
a big, green-eyed monster that nobody likes, but that takes a lot of lives when people just don't understand. I think a lot of it comes from, miscommunication.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that me being raised independent, I'm going to keep it 1,000. Like, I did not feel that I owed an answer to anybody. Like, being in a relationship, I don't owe.
Like,
You want me to what? No, that I'm going to work. I'm going to make this money. I'm going to come back. Like, I did not feel. So that was like, on my part, that was not good because that dampened a lot of relationships. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they need to know. Like, they just feel like that's something we need to talk about to kind of give them, that at ease. And that's, why we, conversate and compromise and have an understanding so that, things don't go out of content. Because I know that, a lot of men and women, because I know if, let me say, so if, I'm going to put this, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so basically, like, if somebody was calling my husband after hours, you know what I'm saying? If he just, picked up the phone and walked out, like, I'm like, oh, who you calling? Who you talking to?
Yeah.
Who calling us phone? You know what I'm saying? So, and if he was to not, talk about this, then I'm going to be like, okay, so he talking to somebody. And it's going to be some problems. And we like to hold things and let it build up. And then
that's how I am.
we explode when it could have just been talked about because it could have been a misunderstanding. So, like, it's my birthday this month. So, like, his phone's been ringing a lot. I'm like, who's calling? You know what I'm saying? He's like, well, I got this. You know what I'm saying? I'll let you know when it's your time to know. And I'm like, oh. You what?
I say what?
Okay, but be glad it's August. So I completely understand, but that's what I'm saying. Like, they could be planning something, but like me being an overthinker, I'm just like, what are you doing? Because something in the milk don't look clean. So
something in the milk don't look clean. I could say this, like, I was the type of person, and this is my favorite term, free as a bird. Mm-hmm. Like, I was in a relationship for a long time, almost 13 years, and I never had to say, well, I'd be like, I'm going. Mm-hmm. It was never like, are you okay with it? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm going here. I'm going here. It wasn't never like that, but, now I get it. I say, we got something planned. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking about doing this. Instead of just hopping, because, like, with my baby daddy, it was never, well, yes, it was. I ain't gonna even lie. You always going out. You always out, so don't worry about what the hell I'm doing. Like, come on. Like, right. But the respect that I have, like, for my boyfriend now is like, I don't know. I just feel the need to, like, baby, I'm getting ready to do this. So do we have anything planned? It's different. And it's the communication. But if it was the same situation with him getting the phone and getting up and walking out, I'm not going to follow him out. But when he come back in, I'm like,
I'm waiting for you to tell me the update. What's going on?
We ain't finna do that, buddy. But it won't be no crazy shit where I'm going to kill you, no.
Right, yeah. I mean, I think I might bust your windows out your car. But I ain't gonna kill you, no. I don't think I'm that brave.
See, and it gets to the point too where I'm at the age now that I don't think I would do something. Well, I've never been the type of person that, like, bust no windows. I have broke a TV or two and PlayStations, but not the car. But I'm at a stage now, again, the communication I have with my boyfriend is fantastic. I don't think it would be where I'm so upset or you lying to me and I have to do something crazy. Now, don't get me there, because once I get there, I can't function to get back to the place. That's why I like to communicate, and that's why I hold things in, because if I react right then in the moment, it's not going to be thought through, and it's probably going to be some shit that, like, like, I ain't fucking with her, bro. Get out of the red flag.
Yeah, that's important. That's, I think, that, having a conversation and, like, talking through your emotions, because, like I said, like, we all like to hold things in, and I had to learn the hard way, because I don't like showing, the emotion, because I've always felt that it made me feel weak. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I never like to, talk through those. And even when I talk through them, sometimes, like, you get this knot in your throat.
Because you be about to cry. Like,
I'm so mad right now.
Excuse me. I'm very emotional, and I don't like to show it, because emotional people seem a little crazy. Right. You just start crying out of nowhere. What the hell is wrong with you?
Crying and you smiling at the same time. Hold up now.
Run. No. So toxic relationships, it has a, do you think it plays bigger on the female, or who bring the toxic shit in the relationship, the male or the female?
It could be on both sides.
It could be, but who got the highest percentage?
It would have to be us. Because
we
and here's the thing. So I think that it's more of, I wouldn't say
Go ahead and put it. Nope. Go
we
ahead
can
and
be
say it.
we are toxic. We can be toxic creatures if we don't understand something. So I think that with the male, like it plays on both sides. Like the male, like we're looking for stability, you know, and a man, and that comfort, you know what I'm saying, from them. And if they don't show us that, then we tend to start feeling some type of way, especially if you're like in a relationship for like years. Like if you have been dating for like 10 years, bro, and y'all are not engaged or married, like what are you doing?
Let that shit go.
What is that?
Let
Like,
it go.
exactly. It's time for y'all to make grown-up decisions because you've already been with each other a decade.
So let me ask you this: in a situation like this, a man is dealing with a woman, right? And he's like, "Yo, I don't want no relationship. We just cool. We cooling. We cool. You fun to be around. That's it." But the man is actually hanging out with you every day, talking to you on the phone all the time, even staying the night with you. Who is toxic in the situation? Since the man had already explained what they want.
Well, then you as the woman gonna have to be like, okay, well, there's boundaries because this is what I want. I want to be married. I want to have children someday. And if you just want a friendship, then okay,
No, but if they continue to stay in that situation, who is toxic, the girl or the man?
the man,
Why is that?
because he's basically trying to have his cake and eat it too, pretty
But
much.
she's allowing it. And he has explained to you, I don't want nothing more. You can deal with it or not. And she continues to deal with it and catch feelings. Isn't that toxic on her end?
I mean, I think that.
She's contaminated now.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. She contaminated, but hell, she contaminated herself. She went into the lab with no coat. You know what I'm saying? So he told you what's in these chemicals. I don't want no relationship. I just want to be friends. Basically, what is it called?
What?
Friends with benefits.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
And then,
emotionally, when you are emotionally together, there's ties, soul ties, emotion. You know what I'm saying? And that brings out more. So if you're friends with no benefits, strictly platonic, that's different. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to have those type of emotions. But when you're having that intercourse, those are your souls. You know what I'm saying? Like
connecting and intertwining, yeah.
Exactly. So now it's toxic on both of y'all. You know what I'm saying? And if he really had any type of respect for you, you know what I'm saying? He's not going to continue to dangle you. You know what I'm saying? And
But why it's not dangling if he explained to you, and I'm just saying this from a man point of view. If I explained to you what I wanted or what I was getting out of it, how am I toxic and how am I dangling you?
I mean, because
My point of view was they say actions speak louder than words.
Right.
And in that case scenario, your action is showing something different than what you're explaining. So I'm getting emotionally attached to you. But in the same sense is being a woman, why get emotionally attached to something that said this is temporary?
right.
But you can't help it, right?
I mean, yeah.
So the woman is the toxic one in that situation.
I mean, yeah. She can be toxic. But at the end of the day, I guess it's your maturity level. You know what I'm saying? Because as a woman, we need to know what we want. You know what I'm saying? And if we know exactly the path that we're looking for, it's not gonna be perfect. You know what I'm saying? You might, write all the things that you want in a man, and he's not gonna be all those things. You have to mold him into those things.
So do you think? Oh, speaking of that, I'm sorry to cut you off.
You're fine.
Do you think you can mold a older guy?
Absolutely. Because here's the thing about molding a man. So a man is completely moldable if he wants to be molded. And if he loves and respects you and wants to grow with you, he's going to compromise for you, and you're going to do the same. So we all have to let that pride down, which is super hard for a lot of us, you know what I'm saying, to be able to meet in the middle. So absolutely.
I always say that I see why older men date younger women, because younger women, you can set a bigger impression on a younger woman and mold her into the woman that you want her to
Absolutely.
be. You can teach her, look, this is what I want done, clean, and you can mold her. I don't think that you can mold a man that's already up here, that's already set in his ways.
So
And
you're
no-
talking about somebody that's like 70-year-old?
No, I'm talking about somebody that's in their late 20s, early 30s.
Oh, hell no. You're not going to be set in your ways in your late 20s.
Uh,
You don't
yeah.
even know your ways,
But
basically.
yes, men or like they know what they like, they know what they want, and it's like you're not going to be able to change that.
It's
now,
not all men. That's not all men.
growing is different, but molding, that's something different. It's molding him into your principles and your morals. Growing is actually combining the two, not molding. That's what I consider.
Okay.
So am I understanding it
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Okay.
So it's growing, not molding, right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
that because when I think about it, like a young girl, getting young girls, she don't know no better. I can mold her into exactly what I want. I don't think you can mold a man into exactly what you want. And then if a man allow me to mold him into what I want, I don't feel like that's a man. Is that weird?
I mean that's your opinion.
Because I think again, molding is creating something. Growing is understanding and growing together to create something. So that's the difference with what I consider molding and what I consider growing.
So I mean, do you feel the same way with an older woman dating a younger man?
Absolutely.
So you think that she can mold him into what she wants him to be
Yeah.
in his 20s?
No. Not well, early 20s. Not. I don't feel like late 20s and early 30s. You think they still can get?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think that there's a lot of men that are even mature in their 20s because I think that a lot of them are still trying to find themselves, and so are females. Unless we were raised by nothing but adults or older women, you know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
we know, like, okay, we're going to mimic what we've seen. And a lot of us have, the abstinence of a parent, whether
Right.
it's the mother or the father. So we're not getting both of what we need to be able to really grow into, phenomenal
around it,
women.
yeah.
Or men, you know what I'm saying? So like sometimes when a woman is more seasoned in a certain area and then there's a man that has amazing potential, that wants to learn and to grow, with you, he's going to learn new things or educate himself further to make sure that you guys are on the same page. But he has to want to do that.
Well, that's growing.
Yeah.
And again, I feel like molding is you do what you told and understand how to learn it and do exactly how it is supposed to be done.
Okay.
That's what I consider molding. Like you can manipulate somebody to mold them into you want. Now growing and understanding and getting it from yourself, I understand that. Me, I wouldn't date, like take a younger person serious. Or no, I don't think I would take a younger person seriously. I guess that's why.
So like I was watching. Let me think of the name of this TV show because who plays in it? But anyway, so there was a younger. He was a producing artist, and I want to say that he had to have been in his 30s, and she was like in her late 50s, and so she was dating her, but he's like the age of her son, so they're grown.
Okay.
And so I guess like the son and him don't get along because it could be like his brother or whatnot. It's the guy that played on Medea, Mr. Brown, but they have a show, him and Tamela Mann.
I don't know how to watch it.
Yes, it's so funny, y'all. But yeah, she was dating it, and basically like he didn't play like the role of a young male. Like he was mentally very, very mature. And so basically her son thought that he wanted her for her money. And then she was like, oh no, baby, he's the one with the money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he's the rich one and he's gonna be the one taking care of me, but he was extremely much younger than her,
Well, see,
so-
that's very rare that you can find a younger
Absolutely.
guy that's mature. But I get it. I understand it. So, at that point, is he molding her or is she molding him? Or
Yeah, at this point, I think she's just ready to live her life to the fullest.
I
Like,
thought
let
that
me
thing
get
in a
this
circle.
done.
Now, I was joking with my daughter. Yesterday we had went to Forever 21, and I was like, your mama, how you think your mama is? She said 99. I said, see, you trying to play me now because you know your mama ain't 99. You know your mama fine. I said, wait till you get in high school. I'm going to be a cougar. All your little friends going to like me. I said, I'm coming up there with my hoochie mama shorts on, getting out the car, coming to get you. I'm going to be clicking my fingers. She's like, oh, no, you're not. I'm going to call my auntie to come and get me because you're not. I said, all your little friends going to be wanting your mama. She told me some. They already say you're hot.
Oh, yes. We get that all the time.
Yeah, you got a hot mom, Gaffney. Yes, absolutely. So I want to kick it into, like, since we were talking about toxicity, that word tongue tie me every time. I got a list for y'all. But what motivates you? Especially when it comes to your relationship and, you know, with your business and everything. Is your husband a major part of your motivation?
Absolutely. I would not be able to do it without him. Like, honestly, there's been so many days I wanted to shut these doors down because I've been frustrated. And he has, like, pushed me. Like, the reason my business is open today is because of him. Because I just did not feel that I had the confidence. Like, although you go to school and you get, like, all this knowledge, you still don't have, like, you have to work on the confidence, you know, like to really get out here and be in front of people and position yourself as the expert. And he was that motivator for me. Like, he pushed me. He's like, no, babe, you're doing this. You're going to open up your office. You know what I'm saying? Here's the money for you to do this and get in there and work it. And I was like, oh, no, I can't do this. No, I'm not doing this. Yes, you are. And we go. And, you know, here I am 3.5 years later with a CPA firm. And we are fixing to do numbers, you know, this upcoming season with all the new projects that we have. So, like, I don't know where I would be without him because, y'all, when I got laid off, like, I just thought, because I've always worked. I've been working since I was 14. And even before then, I was working in my dad's HVAC company. So that's all I've ever known, you know, is just to work. I'm just like, now I ain't got no job. I've never been fired before.
You got fired?
So I was laid off. So, like, I've never been in this position. So I was just like, I'm not ready for this. I mean, you know, I had a 401k, but still, like, I just wasn't ready for this.
Yeah.
And then my husband's been in business for 8 years at that time. And he was just like, you can do this. And I'm going to be here every step of the way on the good and the bad. And that's what matters, yo. Like, if somebody cannot be with you through the bad, and when I tell you the struggles of a small business being an entrepreneur is so hard. Like, it is hard. It is not for the weak.
What are some of the down parts to it that people don't see up front?
Basically just having, like, the knowledge of being able to continue to go and to push, making sure that your business is properly set up. Making sure that you have the cash flow to sustain, you know, stuff that's going on, like, as of today with the inflation and stuff like that.
So personally, like, what are some of the things the struggles you had to go through with your business?
So I would have to say, like, I guess, like, with, you know, growing my business, because, like, I really, in the beginning, I didn't understand because I'm not in front of people. I didn't understand, like, how to, like, really market myself. So the cash flow was a struggle. And with it being my only business, like, if I don't make a sale or produce a service, I can't pay my bills.
Yeah.
And or if I invoice a client and you're trying to be nice and they don't pay on time, like, we're not a big corporation. So, like, if you don't pay your bill, I can't pay my bills. I can't pay my vendors. And, like, just being able to, you know, deal with stuff like that, it was a struggle to me because I am always, like, the helping bee. Like, I want to help you do this, and, oh, you ain't got to pay me. It's good. But, bro, you got to pay me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I got to make money, you know, and I had to get out of that, that, you know, my knowledge is valuable, and I had to position myself that way to make sure that, I stay confident. And then, like, with me working and me having the children, like, oh my God. Like, that was a struggle. You know what I'm saying? Itself just being able, trying to, like, maintain and trying to be there because although we have our own businesses, we're like, oh, I want all this freedom. Which you get freedom. Like, you can get up and go out to eat or get up and hang out with your friends if you want to. But you have to also keep in mind if you don't work, then you're not going to get paid. Yeah. And it's like I spend more time at the office versus being able to be off and spend time with my kids. So that was like a whole damper for me. Like, it really had me emotional because, like, my dream was to quit, you know, not to have to work, but spend all this time with the kids. But until, like, I was able to put a system in place, that's what I really struggled on.
Okay.
So
yeah, it is a balance that, like being a working mama, having your own business, and having kids, and a relationship. It's a struggle to balance all of that out.
Absolutely.
And then you feel like, oh, I'm missing the most important part. But if I don't do this, they're not going to be able to have this for them to do that. I said, yeah, that's a big struggle. I could say my motivation is my significant other. Like, it's like to have somebody, like you said, to have somebody in your corner that you know that's actually rooting for you.
Absolutely.
With even though, you know, he's tough love, like, I already done told you, you either gonna listen to this or do it your way. You keep asking me the same thing, and you know, me sometimes I need that reassurance.
Absolutely, yeah.
But to have that motivation, like before we got into a relationship, I would call this man for everything and get advice from him. I'm like, hey, what you doing? Can you help me with this, and this? Or what do you think about this, and this? And it was more of, I had so much respect for this man. And he's all like, you got it. You know, you good. You have to do this. You have to put this out because it's there. Why are you holding on to this? I'm like, I don't know. I get so nervous. No, everything's good. So ever since then, like having him, somebody like that in your corner and have that kind of motivation backing you, you can go anywhere.
Absolutely.
That motivation is that she is needs.
Yes, and that's what a lot of us, I think, needs, because, you know, it's a lot of jealousy and a lot of people that tear you down as an individual these days. Like having somebody that's solely for you 110% just means a lot. It means the world, you know what I'm saying? So,
and it's crazy how well, you know, even with life in general, when you start to set boundaries for yourself, people say that you change for the worse. And I don't understand. That gets me a lot. That bothers me, because why do you feel like I'm changing? Because I'm setting boundaries now. Because I'm not tolerating something I would have tolerated. Because if I do, then I'm not going to be able to move forward.
right.
So that's two boundaries and motivation. Those two together bring success.
Absolutely.
Do you have any boundaries? Like, I know you had said that you don't go out with single women. Now, what made you set that boundary?
Just like, you know, because a lot of the, like, I mean, I do go out with some single, like my friends, you know what I'm saying, that I've known for many, many years, but just like with the single women, like going out with them, you know, to the club. I mean, I'm married with 4 kids. Like the club thing, like I think that after so long, it's kind of played out. Like, you know, I've done this in my 20s, you know what I'm saying? It's been the same stuff over and over. You go to the club, dance a little bit, take a couple shots, then you leave. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully you make it home because you're not going to be drinking and driving. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I've done all of that. So as, you know, I've gotten older, like, it's just not of interest to me. And I'm just like, yeah, this is not it. Like, I would rather, you know, go to a bar, have a glass of wine, or, you know, like we can go out and
dancing salsa.
Yeah,
I like the salsa.
Yes, I like to go to Abanico's. That is really fun. You definitely work some calories off.
And getting that waist, you be sweating.
Yes.
Like, yes, come here.
Gotta get you snatched.
That little waist gonna slim down when you get in there. So it's kind of a workout. We ain't gonna say it's going out.
Right.
We're gonna work out, yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, I mean, but I guess it just kind of depends on like where their headspace is, because there are some younger women that are single that have a really good head on their shoulders, and they're ready to, you know, to be successful. So I think that as I'm older, like I want to surround myself with a different type of environment, you know what I'm saying, to make sure that I'm staying on the right path and I'm going to be able to be successful. And it's like what I'm wanting to achieve in life.
Yeah, because they say you're only as successful as the weakest person that you hang with, right?
Right.
So that makes a lot of sense, because if you surround yourself with different mindset, you get a better understanding of how they think. So you're going to start thinking like that to move forward and progress higher. So that makes a lot of sense. But too, I could say this, you know, been in a relationship at a young age where I went out but didn't go out that much. So when you separate from that, now you want to live.
Right.
So you like, you want to go. I went out a couple times, but I didn't go out like that. And then you start like, okay, I'm going out. How old are you? Mind your business. I'm going out. And then you're like, hey, I need to experience this because I haven't. But now it's really time to settle down.
Time to settle down and get your life together.
And get it together. You know, got it together a little late, but, you know, everybody experienced at a different time, you know.
Right.
So yeah, motivation and boundaries, and loving, and don't be in no toxic ass relationship.
Get out when you see that flip, that little switch click. It's time to go.
How many red flags you need? Ding, ding,
I
ding.
think I'm good with one.
Just one.
Just one. You what? Oh no.
Not when you're young though, because you don't understand red flags, and then the difference between red flags and the difference between being free. When you're young, it's just like, oh, it's just a mistake. It's just a
that's
mistake.
naiveness. You
Naive. That's what I'm looking for.
Hold up, you no. What kind of mistake was that? Oh no.
But you got to think when you were younger, you dealt with a lot of stuff because you weren't experienced in it.
Right. You just didn't know no better. Because I've been in a lot of situations that I thought that, especially like experience and love, like I didn't really know what love was. And, the love that I was given younger was not healthy. You know what I'm saying? So
That's when you
but
being innocent.
yeah, but I thought, I was like, oh, he does this because he loves me. And I'm just like, oh, that's not good. After you've learned, like, oh, that's not love. Oh, baby, let me come and let me talk to you.
that point, that's what God said. You their property. That's that molding. You belong to me. I want you to do it this way. If you don't, you're going to get a thrashing.
A thrashing.
Take it to the goddamn courthouse on this Sunday morning. Now bring your ass up here.
No.
You ain't listening. You finna get your ass whooped. You do as I say.
So that is a child. That is
That's how they do what I say.
listen, I'm not your child.
Come here, little boy. You gonna listen to me. You gonna get in here and do what I say. That's how I feel like older women do talk to younger men, like not cougars, but when you dating a older woman is dating a younger man that's 10 years or more, I feel like they talking to them like that.
They could be. So I have a question. So back on to the toxic relationship. So there is another case that happened. Her name is Courtney. She was a model of Noor.
The white girl?
Yes.
The black guy in Miami?
Girl, yes.
She just got charged with murder.
So she didn't get off.
Nope. They just charged her with murder. It came out that she said it was self-defense, but it came out where they were showing footage her in the elevator where he was beating her. The friends were saying that she was the one that was violent. He had actually left and came back, and they got into an altercation after that, and then she ended up stabbing him. So she was on that show. What's his name? The white guys not the white guy. The two black guys that's always bashing women. It's like a podcast. Do you know what I'm talking about? Well, she was on that podcast and she was like, I like black men, rich black men. And she stood up and it was like, and he did the Bitcoin and all of that, so he was rich. So she got him, abused him. He must have didn't do something for her. I don't know. I'm assuming. And she ended up killing him. But yeah, she was charged with murder.
That's crazy. That's what I'm saying. Like, she was even beating on that man, like, her little bitty old self.
Ain't no way. And the day before that, he was online bashing black women. So when he got murdered, a lot of black women, especially a lot of black women that was influencers, they was like, we don't have nothing to do with the situation. He turned his back on us while
Wow.
And it's just like, oh man.
I didn't even know that part. That's what I'm saying. They don't tell you everything. It's just little bits and pieces, but it does make her look like a monster. You know what I'm saying? And then she
should be painted as.
Yeah, and then she she was like going to like mental health. She had like mental health issues or whatever. So she was like going to see the psychiatrist and stuff. So I was just like, Lord Jesus, this don't make no sense. I'm just so over everybody, killing their significant others for these crazy reasons. Like, there are so many other people in the world that you could be with. Like, if it's not working out, like, okay, cut ties, move to the next. Like, why do you have to take somebody's life? And now,
I can't say not necessarily to the extent of taking somebody's life, but I can understand that you're so in love with somebody, and it can be borderline infatuation, or it can be completely infatuation that you cannot let this person go. And I'm big, again, on the spiritual side. You don't know what kind of, again, sex, y'all souls are connected.
right.
No, what kind of connection, what kind of bond that I don't tie myself into, or you don't tie yourself into, what spiritually you done for me to not, and as you call it down here, somebody done put a root on you or cast a, so you don't know what's behind it. And when somebody's tampering with your spirit, they got a hold on you where you can't let go, and you become crazy when you're not around that person. So I can understand the fact of, you say move on. I can't get over this person. You can be with somebody 5 years. Guarantee if you really love that person, it's going to take you 3 years to get over that person. Think about it. 10 years, it's going to take you 5, 6 years to get over this person because y'all have such a bond and that kind of connection. Y'all done planned, grew all this together. So it's hard to say just move on. And I could never get that with a lot of people. Like, I could just cut somebody off. But did you really care about them? Do you think you can, like, something happened with you and your husband that you could just cut him off and move on? If he said, I don't want to be with you no more.
I mean, I can't cut you off completely because you got kids.
But if he said that, do you think you could just leave it alone?
I mean, I guess it would have to depend, you know what I'm saying? And with me not ever being in that situation, I really can't speak off experience, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know, like, I just feel that, and when I'm hurt, and it could be like, so when I'm hurt, I overdo myself. So, like, I get really busy, and I'm working on everything else.
Cooking, cleaning, trying to keep in mind. But see, me, too, if I don't do that or continuously stay busy, it gets into the mode where I'm going to end up trying to get over you and show interest in somebody else. So, but not like if it's a relationship, you trying to get over, like a long-term relationship, you trying to get over, you and keep yourself busy, but it's to the point where, how long am I going to be able to keep myself busy and still not think about you when you just sit down and take a break or while you're in the shower?
Well, you need to go, it's time to go see a therapist.
And a
Get
lot of
your
black people
coffee.
don't want to see therapists or can't afford to see therapists.
Well, then you need a friend. Like, oh, Jesus, let me make sure I say this
'Cause
right. So when we are going through things, like, as humans, we cannot bear with just being alone and not talking to anybody.
But
you have to get it out. You got to talk to someone.
So in my situation, and maybe we can talk about this on a whole completely different podcast, but I struggle with depression. I struggle with wanting to kill myself. I struggle with a lot of stuff that mentally, if I would have reached, when I reached out to somebody or try to talk to them, it was never like them trying to understand. It was more pointing the finger. Well, you didn't listen. You should have did this. You know, and
But
it was
who
never.
are you talking to when these people are saying these things?
So we can get in that. If you want to talk about that on a whole different podcast, but it was never to the point where you could just talk to somebody and vent and somebody actually help you get out the situation. It's more of criticism. And now that I'm sheltered in, I don't want to talk to anybody about it. So you go out to other things like having sex with multiple people, trying to get away from reality, drinking, taking pills, prescription medication that they give you.
The pain.
Yeah, so it's hard. And then, like, reaching out to get a therapist, I reached out to a therapist 3 times. And to me, the only way I felt comfortable is a black woman. That's the only therapist that I want to talk to. And I found her, and I called her 3 times, but never actually went and seen her because it was like, I'm embarrassed. I don't want to do this. I don't want no situation where I'm telling her all of this and then my kids get taken away. And it's just a lot of stuff that goes through your head, like.
But that's when you have to understand her position. You know what I'm saying? And we want to talk to a black woman. I'm the same way. Like, even when I, need to talk to somebody, it needs to be someone that looks like me. Someone that's been through the shit I've been through so that you can relate with me. Because if I'm on drugs and I'm trying to get off of drugs and you ain't never been on drugs before, how the fuck is you going to help me? You can't, because you can't relate to me.
But see, a lot of, with that, I kind of disagree, because you have people that ain't never been on drugs, but they have been addicted to something else.
Yeah.
So you can relate to that, but I can't. I need somebody like me to understand how you grew up.
Right.
So if you understand, like you were saying, if you understand how you grew up, then you understand what kind of mind frame that you in. Yeah.
But see, the therapist they're trained to help you sort all of that out. So, like, our brains. So with our brains, you know, like a pack of M&Ms, if you get a pack of peanut M&Ms, you know, they have all the colors,
Right.
like all in a bag. And that's how we are as people. All of our emotions, we're all fucked up some type of way because of everything that we've experienced, because we weren't prepared for the experience, for whatever happened to us. And now we have like a culture shock. We have so much stuff going on. And going to the therapist, they are going to help you unpack this bag of M&Ms, and they're going to help you sort out each color. All the yellows go on this color, go on this. All the browns go here. You know what I'm saying? All the greens go here, and it helps us to be able to process things.
But see, that's so difficult to me because I can't put mine in a pile like that. And it's crazy because I need a brown, green, and the yellow one to go on the stack, and a brown, green, and the yellow one to go, you know.
But the reason is for us to separate this is so that we can be able to process, because we can't process in confusion. So we have to be able to have an understanding of why we are thinking and feeling this way. And when we have that, we're unpacking the situation so that we can repack the situation to where we understand what we're dealing with and why we're feeling this way. And when we feel this way, like having a panic attack, like you know what I'm saying, breathe and calm down. And you know what I'm saying, you have to know these processes in order for you to help yourselves. And we are not trained that. And so when you go see a psychiatrist or a therapist, they're trained on the human mind to help you identify this. Because this is why we go crazy and we jump off buildings or kill ourselves, is because we're so emotionally frustrated and confused on everything. We don't have no type of understanding, so we just want to end it all because we feel that if we end it, there is no more pain.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to get an understanding. Like you got to talk to someone, you know what I'm saying, and not to just give up, because there's lots of people out here that you know have experienced the things that you've gone through. You just got to be able to, you know, meet that right person. You just got to keep pushing, man. Like,
yeah, it makes me emotional because I've been through a lot that, I mean, nobody out on the surface will understand or know what I've been through. But,
Right.
and a lot of people are like, how do you see that from that point of view when I didn't see that? It's a lot of stuff that I kept in that you would never know. And then it kind of drive you crazy, but I really do appreciate the time that I took for myself, for me to understand myself without talking to somebody about it. Even though I went crazy and had like a mental breakdown where I was on multiple medications, couldn't sleep. Sometimes I'll be up for 4 days. I had to get on sleeping medication. I'm drinking every single night, missing this medication, working here, working there, getting 3 hours of sleep, taking the kids home, school, coming home. But I was able to understand how to process it, and I was able to get an understanding. But it was still, and to this day, like I talked to my boyfriend about a lot of stuff, and he's amazing. But still to this day, it's a lot of stuff that I need to unpack and unfold. But I do value that I got that understanding of myself. Because if I didn't, I wouldn't have been able to grow as much as I did, because I went from a child in a relationship, so naive, just going with the flow, whatever you say works, never fully understanding, like, damn, I depended on this person for everything. Basically, he was like my fucking dad, taking care of me, but we was having sex because I didn't know nothing.
Daddy with benefits.
And then everything just completely gets stripped and taken away. Now I got two little human beings that I gotta
Take care of you. You feel alone.
Yeah. So yeah. But enough about that. We can crack that egg when we get into something else. You know what I'm saying? But I really enjoyed this podcast today.
Yes.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Make sure you guys let us know how y'all felt about it in these comments down below.
And if y'all want to hear any topics, hit us up at realfantasy1518@gmail.com. Any questions, any topics y'all want to hear about, hit us up and let us know. You can hit us up on I Say Podcast Network on Instagram and Real Fantasy Podcast on Instagram. Just DM us and let us know what you want to hear about. And thank you for tuning in to Real Fantasy Podcast on I Say Podcast Network. Again, it's your girl Victoria Rosa, and I got my co-host
Chantel Wilkins.
And we are out.
Real Fantasy. could say a little, or you could say a lot. Dreams are what you ask for, real is what you got. Take a few shots with a queen on the line, a rose in the middle, with love on the side. It's all a vibe tonight. It's all a vibe tonight. Make sure you tune in tonight.